Hey, everybody, it's Carl's from Immortals Inc. podcast. Mikey on the old sound-making machine over there.
The computing machine.
We're going to talk a little bit about customer is always right, that phrase. You ever hear that?
Yeah.
The customer is always right.
Yeah. You believe it?
No. And I'm not saying it in a bad... Once again, these are opinions.
His opinion.
I'm not saying this in a bad way
here.
at all. I really love our customers and everything like that. But there's also customer etiquette. You know, you have to behave a certain way. And what brought this up, among other things, was, you know, these are all building up. What brought this up was pricing. All right. So Wizards, which I thought was a pretty good idea, they don't have a retail price on their items. So it's like whatever the market decides. This is what I bought it for. This is my standard markup to stay in business, and this is what I'm going to sell it for. Once again, I'm not an educated guy. All right. I have no college, no training. I just did this for fun. I guess there's a point where something, once you paid for it and it hasn't sold, you lose money, and then you have to liquidate it or sit on it or invest it or whatever you got to do. Magic's kind of weird because you can invest in it, because if you sit on it, eventually it'll sell. Well, it's not becoming that so much anymore.
Yeah.
So sometimes you have to put stuff on sale. So that's what you do, just for fun. That doesn't mean that everyone has the same price everywhere.
Yeah.
We're in Cleveland, Ohio, which is some places there's one game store for 50 miles. There's a few game stores here.
There's a lot.
Right?
There's a plethora over here.
And they go up and down, you know. If one store sells it for less, maybe they A, mismarked it, B, are trying to getting rid of it, C, are having a rough time and need to make some capital, you know, whatever it might be. It doesn't mean that this price is going to be the same here, especially on something that doesn't have a retail price. It's whatever market decides, right? And also me. I can mark something for $50, right? That's my standard markup for whatever I paid for it. If it sells, good for me. I made my normal markup. If it doesn't sell, then I guess I got to mark it down. Well, that's called business. That's called risk management or whatever. So now if you're a customer and you come in and you see something's marked down, I'm like, yeah, this is the price. You shouldn't stand at my counter and start yelling at me that that's not the right price. Da-da-da-da-da. This other store sold it to me for this much cheaper. Well,
it's always the other store.
Yeah, it's the other store. Well, I don't know what's up with that other store, but if you got it for that price at that other store, man, I'm going to go there and get it myself too, because I'm going to eventually sell it. Who knows what happened? Who knows if he's lying? But you don't yell at the guy behind the counter, because that's the price he set to make a living or a profit or whatever he's got to do, especially a store, you know. You could maybe say, hey, I got it this much for the other price. Can you help me out here? Well, you're going to buy more? You know, you're going to buy 10 instead of 1?
Yeah.
You know, maybe that's an option. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can negotiate. It's a business. So maybe go that route, you know?
Yeah.
Or maybe say, maybe I'm not going to shop here. I'm going to go to this other place because I get a better price, you know?
Yeah. Respectfully, prices are too high for me.
Don't stand behind the counter or on the other side of the counter and yell at you, because sometimes you don't know who you're yelling at or what the heck, you know, you don't know who you're yelling at, you know? It doesn't make any sense. Now, I'm saying this is because it's kind of upset me, or I was not happy with this particular customer.
Happens all the time, too. Not all the time, but enough.
Seems to me a lot, but
yeah,
it's never guys that are regulars. It's always people I've never seen before ever that come in and demand things, and it's like, well, there's a door. I don't need your money, you know? And but that goes back to the pricing. All right, so you don't want. We're not Amazon. I don't price match. Right? I just can't. If you want to come in and say, hey, you know, this other guy had it for that much, maybe I can give you a discount. Maybe we'll work on something. You know, that's business. That's called negotiation. That's called a business. That's everything else. It also depends on how much it is.
Yeah.
You know, if it's a $3 item, then I'm not going to haggle over a $3 item. That's the price. You know, because if it's $3, that's probably as low as I can possibly go on that particular thing. Now you get on a higher priced item, maybe we can work on it. You know, but that's just me. You know. But you don't want, do you really want the game stores to call each other and say what prices is going to be? Do you want any product anywhere? Well, we're just going to use game stores as an example. Do you really want me to call all these other stores around here and say, hey, how much are you selling this price for? Okay, you're going to sell for that much. All right. So then
because you helped me out, I'm going to go 50 cents above that. Is that cool?
Yeah, then that way you could sell yours, and then they come to me. And then, this leads to a lot of problems. Like, okay, well, what if we all decided that we all had it? Nobody else did. And instead of like whatever the standard market price is, we're going to add $1. And we did every store. And then all of a sudden you're paying $1 more because we did something that's called price fixing, which is illegal. You don't want that. You want the market to decide, hey, can I sell it for this low? I think I can. And then you sell it. If this other store can sell it lower for whatever reason, liquidation, whatever, or just trying to run a sale, trying to get business, that's fair. That you win as a customer, as a consumer. You don't win when we all share prices. Yeah. It doesn't work that way. Now apply that to gas. Apply that to milk. Apply that to bread. You don't want the people
that's just going to go up, and then nobody's going to.
Because then everybody's like, well, they know we need gas.
It's the same everywhere.
So we're all going to get together and decide that gas is going to be this high. And then it just goes up a little more, and then bam.
Don't take any ideas from us.
It's not even taking ideas. Anybody who's a business knows that. What I'm trying to explain to people is like, hey, listen, there's a reason. Now, since Wizards doesn't put a retail price on their product, whatever you can get for it, the market decides. And I like TCG Player because they're pretty good. You see what's on there. I try to stay close. Like I can't match some guy that's either selling it thousands of boxes at a time, and I can't match somebody who just wants to get rid of it. And you have to be careful sometimes. And I'm not saying TCG Player, but sometimes you see it online for like they're selling it for what I pay for it. Personally, I think sometimes you get ripped off because you might not get that product for 2 months. You might not get that product at all. They might just refund you. They might just be looking for money. Hey, I needed a whole bunch of money to buy what I wanted. Here, I'm going to ship all this back and then sell this for more.
Yeah.
These are scams, all right? That's called that way. If it seems too good to be true, it is. That goes back to the market price. Now, when you see something on sale like MSRP, which stands for Manufacturer's Suggested Retail Price, the word suggested is right in there.
Yeah, suggested.
So there's a company, and I don't want to rag on them because I like their product, but they raised our costs, didn't raise their MSRP. Makes me feel bad because in order for me to stay in business, I have to have a certain percentage or whatever. That's the price. I have to raise it a little bit. So everybody comes in and says, hey, well, they have it for this on MSRP. I know, so I know, but I can't do it, But that's why we offer discounts, coupons, and all that other crap. So, Stars program and everything like that. You build them up and, you help me help you.
Free rewards.
And eventually, what's going to happen if that company doesn't fix it, and I'm not saying they will, like maybe they sell direct. God bless them, if they sell them. But for us to carry it, eventually it's going to be the point where it's not going to be worth my while. Say, well, it's not moving. I can't make a profit on it. I can't do anything with it, so I'm going to stop buying it. So then they can only get it from them. The problem with like game stores or like this kind of people want to come to the store and play and buy it. So they can come here and they can get it in their grubby little hands. There's going to be some other company that makes it a product just as good or equal. And then they're going to give me a better price or at least be honest about the price. Hey, this is what I'll sell for you. This is their MSRP. Okay. And then I'll put it up there and then they'll buy that, because they can get it right then and there, Does this make any sense to you?
Yeah.
Okay. And I think that's, I think the whole point of this video, which is my opinion again about
his opinion,
retail is like, don't come in and yell at the store, or the owners or whatever.
Do a little bit of research. Yeah. Even if you aren't a business person, you could just, like anybody else, do research. Like, I'm not a science guy. Figure out why it's raining today,
It's not even that. Yeah, like that's not even that. Just understand that there's a reason for it. I'm not maliciously ripping you off.
Just with like MSRP, like there's a big stigma that MSRP is this absolute stagnant number that, is the norm and everybody has to follow it. Mm-hmm. Suggested in the name, like you said.
Suggested right there.
It's in the name. So.
And then they're going to go the other end. Well, what if you overcharge for something? I mean, define overcharge. Like we use some product you can't get, right? Say the market price of like, say some box, collector box or something. They said their MSRP is 20, but the market price for the thing is 200. Oh, I'm a business, so the price is going to be 200 because you can't go anywhere and get it for $20, you know? Well, that's ripping people off. No, it's not ripping people off. They made them. They sold it to us. Everybody wanted it, demand, and I only have a limited supply.
Yeah.
So that's called business.
Same as, $35.99 on TCG Player versus $49.99 here in store. Well, you can get it shipped, but you could also get it same day here in store.
There's a price. And I think most people understand it. It's like, if I want something now, like electronic parts, when we go to get them, I can't find anything local that I could drive to. And, it's like I would, And then like Josh is big for that. Well, it's $3 more if you buy it here. Okay, it's $3. It's in my hand. I don't care. Some people are like fanatical about saving that $3.
Yeah,
but that's my time.
That's the difference.
I'm working on it now. I need it now. That I don't want to wait 3 days because that's my time. It's 3 days later of time I've wasted. So. Even
one day, I need it today. I can't get it
tomorrow.
I'm
here today. It'll be fun. I can move on and go. That's the price you pay for having it, in pocket or on person or whatever. So, but yeah, just understand that. I'm not asking you to understand the business because I don't basically understand business yet. So, just be polite to the guy.
Open-minded.
A store owner. This is the price. Oh, that's high. Oh, you ripped me off. I'm not ripping you off. That's what I'm selling it for. You know what I'm saying? If you don't like it, fine. You can say, oh, that's high. Yeah, well, the guy behind you will probably buy it. Just know that,
Yeah, or and the guy behind that guy will buy it.
Yeah, and if I'm selling it for that price, the next guy you go to is probably going to be selling for that price because it's a different age of you can't, everybody knows what something's worth with a click of a few buttons.
Right. You might be selling Arkham Horror for way lower than this store, but you might be selling Magic for a little bit higher than this store.
Yeah,
no store is going to match up in terms of the right price.
Yeah, and I might sell something for cheaper. Like I've had people come from, like we get a lot of customers from out of town and stuff like that, and they'll come in and be like, oh, your prices are way cheaper than where I'm at. And I said, well, because there's like 5 to 10 stores in this Cleveland area, they're all competing. So we're competing against each other. So we have to have our prices set. Now, if you're in the middle of like Nebraska where the next game store is 100 miles away, you could pretty much set your price. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I get it because then they're from like, oh, I didn't even think about that because there is no other game store. It's just that one. I go, and I don't think that guy's ripping you off. I go, I think that's what he can get for it. He has to get, who knows what his overhead is, the shipping, the time, we have an Amazon hub I can throw a rock and hit, there's probably 3 of them from here.
Yeah.
Actually, we are at Amazon pickup point.
We're an Amazon pickup point. By the way, people, we are an Amazon pickup.
So it's like we're here.
It's a locker.
The shipping is like it's everywhere. But
or counter program, whatever.
Yeah, something. But you go to you go out in the middle of nowhere. You go out in the middle of nowhere, and it might cost a small fortune to get it there.
Scarcity's real too.
Yeah,
so.
All right, I guess the point is be nice to your negotiate. Take the time to say something,
Yeah.
Most stores aren't trying to rip you off or else they wouldn't be in business.
And let us know what you think in the comments. If you had similar experiences or have something to detest about that, let us know. Respectfully.
Before I end it, since you're going to watch this, yes, there is a crime called price gouging, all that.
Even if you have your price too low than the market, like way lower than the market just to compete, I think that's illegal too. I learned about that this semester. I don't know if it's illegal everywhere, but it's an illegal thing.
Yeah,
if your price is
things
way lower than just to get the advantage on everybody, like way lower, you aren't even making money on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a whole lot of other issues in there. But yeah, I understand that there is laws against price gouging and taking advantage and everything like that, but it usually applies to like gasoline and necessities. But as far as business goes, it's market decides. All right, if you like this and you want to see more, if you just like us in general, like, subscribe.
All the above.
Hit the bell.
Hit the bell.
Hit the whatever is up there. So
we'll see you guys next time.
All right, later.